Morning of day 3. I've woken up with a dodgy tummy and I've got a long journey to the coast, which I don't know how long it's going to be because there's a lot of highway construction and Google doesn't know which route to take. Neither does Yandex, actually, so we're going to have to figure out. It could be 5 hours, it could be 8 hours. Alright, let's do some checks. Rain last night as well. The roads are wet. So I'm not really caring too much about the levels because it's on a walk. Power steering could do with a top up. It's a Sunday. Don't know if that means, Jordan's quite a religious country. Don't know if that means there's going to be lots of traffic or not much traffic, whether people stay at home on a Sunday or everyone goes to church on a Sunday. Will remain to be seen. Okay, today we're looking at 430 kilometres to Batumi. This bit of road, where are we? Here, is supposedly, probably about 6 months ago, upgraded to a lot of double or dual carriageway. You can see how it's, cut through that valley. However, Google a lot of the time wants to send me up over the mountains here. Yandex wants to send me this way. It did at least yesterday. But now it looks, even though it had traffic data, you can see the traffic data on here on Google. Seems that now it does want to send me that way. What I don't want is to get to here and then it just try and send me some random direction. When you've got roadworks and stuff, things can be quite tricky. Okay, let's go. I think I should get some fuel on the way, or soon. It's indicating it's probably just under half. That's not correct because the battery's been off. I've done about 400 kilometres so far. So if it was about 800 kilometres on a tank, that'd be about what I get on mine in the UK, but next fill up I'll be able to work out the fuel economy. Yeah, nice. Gearchanges feel quite good, which I was expecting actually, because it's cold and it's cool. The weather's cool. It's lovely. So I think it's just heating up. When it gets hot, it doesn't, for whatever reason, gearbox oil temperature or brake fluid temperature, it doesn't like, well, maybe there's a bit of clutch drag for whatever reason. Okay, filled up. That was about £1 a litre. Everything here is called Euro diesel. I don't know why. I don't know if it actually means it's Euro diesel, like Euro 5 or well, ultra low sulfur diesel. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the black smoke, if there's any change there. We've got about half and half at the moment. We're on the open road, hopefully eating up the kilometres. 110, fastest speed limit I've ever seen so far. Don't think I'm going to be able to do that though. Pretty cool. Done something similar with a Land Rover and a Defender before and released. Google reckons 4 hours 20, so that's without any stops. We're coming very close. You see that dotted line? That dotted line, just over there, that's the ABL, or the Administrative Boundary Line, between Georgia and South Ossetia. It's just up there. Now I have a photo of this Defender parked next to the ABL, this actual Defender, because this Defender has lived most of his life in Georgia. It was registered in Georgia. It lived here for 11 years before it went to Armenia, where it's lived for the last 4.5 years. And so it's probably driven this road many times before. It knows this is its home country in that respect. So we're just kissing the ABL right now there. When I go above 90, the few times I've done it, just to overtake lorries on a downhill, steering shakes quite a lot. So it's not really something I'm going to be doing that often. But this is quite a comfortable speed. And you hear the gearbox noise, or transmission noise, whatever it is. There's also, the gearbox tunnel is not sealed down there, so I get quite a lot of hot air coming through. Yesterday, I couldn't put my hand on the battery box. It was so hot. You know, unbelievable temperatures coming through here. You know why people insulate down around there. I've normally got my window open, but you wouldn't be able to hear me otherwise. It's a lovely temperature at the moment. I'm hoping, well, there's a few clouds, but it's clear up there. I'm hoping we don't get too hot today. Look at that for a service station. Service, Wendy's, lovely. Dunkin' Donuts, Jesus. Time for a tunnel. That's the end of the highway. We're going to go onto the bit of construction now, I think. And immediately I'm stuck behind a truck. A bit more alpine here, we've gone up to about 800 metres. This is the bit where yesterday Yandex sort of sent me off up that road to the left. And Google seems to be carrying on straight, which is good. And there's the new road. Cracking on with it. So I think this is the last, from what I read, this is the last quarter still being built of this entire section through the mountains. I think 3/4 of it is now done as of 6 months ago, end of 23. So hopefully I'll be able to make a decent bit of progress. Interesting parallels here, you know, with my video in Belize about building a road there, you know, because I had a lot of memories in Belize before the road was built, whereas here I've never been here, I don't know any different. It's going to be a road, and it's certainly seems like a good major transport link that's required. Back in the tunnel. Whew. That was another hold your breath tunnel. Jeez. There's a new bit of road over there. I just saw a Land Rover and I waved, but I didn't have the video on. What must these people think, the view they've got now? The last bit I was on, which was 20 minutes, and so the press release says 8 kilometres have been shaved off the road distance. Very impressive. We've basically now dropped to sea level, all the way down, down, and from here on out, so we've done 160 kilometres, 180 to go, so I'm halfway. And that's in about 2 hours, which is unbelievable, really. Let's check out the services. We are pretty much halfway by a few kilometres. There it is. Oh, there's a chimney. Ha, look at that. Western style services, very European style. One Larry to get in the toilets, it's about 50. I can't remember actually. The problem when you're changing so many borders is you've got to remember how to convert currency, which is bloody hard. Right, I'm going to go nuclear. Oh yeah, airflow. It's going to be good. Bit of a baguette. Quick check for leaks. So there's that one. Hopefully they've got lovely concrete, you can actually see what's going on. Tiny dribble from the sump, a lot of it's from here. All filters got drips on it as well. It's just leaky. Power steering right there. Always good to check. They're just up there, snow-capped peaks in the distance, and off over that way, Mount Elbrus, highest mountain in Europe, somewhere over there. It ain't finished yet. We have come down pretty much onto the full mark, around about 230 kilometres. At 240 would be 150 miles, so it's probably 145 miles, 144 miles. Very similar to my 97 300 GDI. Back on these kind of roads for a bit. The lap train, that's cool. I think we've got traffic lights. Oh, level crossing in fact. So you don't want to get stuck on here. Cows in the underpass. Traffic. Oh, those gear changes, man. The clutch. Now everything's hot. First gear's a bit tricky. I wonder what this could be. All the other bits of traffic have been level crossings. Down. Ugh. Maybe I just need to push the clutch down and hold the pedal down a bit longer. Left to Batumi. It's the sea! Look at that! There's the Black Sea. First time I've ever seen it. We're about to jump onto the highway. A bit of rain on the windscreen and there's some stormy, well, just British clouds, shall we say. Overtaking on this road is quite interesting. I just experienced my first ever double overtake. So there was a lorry and there was a car in my lane overtaking the lorry, and then there was another car in my lane overtaking that car. Yeah, I had to go on the hard shoulder. This road is so badly designed. It's literally wide enough for two cars in one lane, so people regularly drive in one lane. And when there's a solid white line, people are quite good at not crossing it, but they expect you to pull into the hard shoulder so they can overtake you within the same lane you're in, so they don't stray to the other side. We've got a Tesla coming up, so that guy's on side to allow the Tesla to go back. So people instinctively drive right to the edge here because they're always expecting that there's going to be a car, double cars coming around the corner or something. Like that almost. And there in the distance is Batumi. Case in point, got followed by a Tesla for a while. He overtook me and then brake checked me quite hard. The reality is I don't want to pull into the hard shoulder because there's freaking every man and his uncle stopped in the hard shoulder. Look at that pile of dirt in the hard shoulder. You don't want to pull over into the hard shoulder. You haven't got a clue what's coming. But JCB over there. There's the port. Google sent me down a road that had roadworks, so the road was basically closed and I had to do a U-in in a hotel turning circle. The problem is getting to where I need to come at it from that side, over on that street, because the hotel's on a dual carriageway. It's day 4 and I've just been to check in for the ferry. Yesterday I got in about 2:30 yesterday. Traffic was just awful. Google was sending me trying to do U-turns. So that the road I tried to turn down to get around, because you've got to, you can't go down that road and turn left. I've got to go all the way along, around and back to turn right to get into the hotel. The one Google sent me down was under construction, completely blocked. I had to do a ridiculous 9-point turn in a hotel lobby turning area. It was a nightmare, and I'm finding that it's difficult, really difficult, even with the clutch pedal right the way down and okay to select forward gears, reverse, really difficult. But I got into the hotel and I just crashed, because last night or the night before I only had 4 hours sleep. I just crashed for the rest of the day. So today's the waiting day. It's like middle of the day. I've just been to that little hut down there and shown my papers, and he seems happy with it. And the guy there's loads of lorry drivers and stuff and other travellers queuing up. I don't have a ticket as such. I had the invoice, and I had an email saying that the money got received by bank transfer, and that should be enough. So now it's basically the waiting game. Gave him my phone number, my local SIM phone number, and he said, we'll call you in the evening. But I know it's going to be like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, based on other travellers' experience. So I've got over 12 hours to kill. It's not as hot here. It's a little bit, humid in here, but it's cloudy. It's actually quite nice. Getting here this morning even just was a nightmare, because Google tried to, I didn't recognise it, but it tried to send me up the same street that was having roadworks on yesterday, but send me off in the other direction, and then I had to go forwards and end up going through a horrendous labyrinth of one-way cobbled streets with tight turning, and I missed one turn, and then you end up going on further, and when you're just trying to get to where you're trying to go, and you end up having to drive further away just because you don't know what's going on. Or anyway, it took me about half an hour to do 2 kilometres, or what should have been 2 kilometre journey. Anyway, this was one of the big milestones. Yesterday was a big milestone, getting across Georgia so I could get here. I wouldn't miss the ferry. Today's a big milestone, figuring out what the check-in procedure is. I think I'm checked in. Next hurdle will be getting on the ferry. Yeah, waiting. So the ferry I'm going to take has arrived, loaded up with lorries and JCBs and tankers and all sorts. So it's going to take, it's going to be at least 12 hours before I get to go on that. They've got to offload that all, and there's just no space at the port. I've been down there, it's just down the end of this road, basically. There's no space. So all the lorries come off one at a time, and then we've all got to go on it one at a time. I think it's a bit less loaded going the way I'm going, from Georgia to Bulgaria. The price is lower, and I've seen other people going on that it doesn't seem to be as heavily loaded. So far, come from Yerevan up to Tbilisi, around, follow the Yellow Stars, and down the coast there. And I'm just trying to do a bit of planning, figure out my progress and where I might be able to go, Bulgaria, once I hit Bulgaria. So Burgas port to Sofia, 400 kilometres, all along highways. I'm looking at what I've been doing, the legs I've been doing so far. They're all about 2.5 hours actually. Average speeds of 40 kilometres an hour, 50 kilometres an hour, 49, 69, and then 58. The 69 was the one where I was on the highways, most of it, and then there was the road construction bit for about 20 minutes. Chopping that out, I could probably be averaging 75 on a highway if I'm driving at 80 or 90 kilometres an hour. I'm really thinking about whether taking the kind of longer, slightly longer but slower route is wise, because the speed I'll be driving at, and it's kind of non-negotiable, I'm not really going to go above 90. Driving on the highways is a lot nicer, it just really is a lot nicer, and plus your average speed is higher as well, so sticking to highways might be a good idea. I've just got to judge that against driving through Serbia and going through the borders. Go Serbia up to Hungary and basically bypass the mountains of Romania and Bulgaria. It's just whether a border crossing or two of those border crossings out of the EU and then back into the EU is worth it. Bulgaria is doing a lot of roadworks at the moment, and it seems like the best highway going to the northwest is closed. At least Google says it is anyway. I don't mind the driving, it's fine. It's just when you could be taking an alternative that's quicker. Unfortunately, I don't have the experience on this. Experience is something you get right after you need it, right? I am going to have to max out the driving. I've only been able to do 5 hours driving a day here because I can't go any further than my actual destination. First day in Bulgaria, I'm going to have to set somewhere because I'm not going to have the whole day because of the import process. And then the rest of Europe is kind of how far I want to drive. Luckily, it gets dark around 9 p.m. Well, sunset's around 9 PM, so I can actually push it. It's 5 o'clock now and there's actually movement. And there's a few lorries have gone since the last time. It's 9 o'clock. Got some good light here from these billboards, and I am fighting off mosquitoes one at a time. Oh, it's been raining, the humidity's quite hot, but I've got to keep the windows closed. I could drive somewhere else maybe, but it's probably going to be pretty mosquito-y all around here. Just waiting for the phone call. Probably got another 5 hours till the phone call comes in. Yeah, the boat is, I can see it, it's all fully unloaded. Some of the lorries from here I've seen them, they go off, and then I can see them over in the parking area in there. So things are moving. It is 11 PM and I've just had the call. So let's go. That was quick. We're going to go all the way down here and around.